Morning class. So today we are going to study about the forms of money. In our previous class, we had studied about the what is money and what is barter system, and we have also studied about the drawbacks. So we are going to study the types of money. Okay. So if we move on the types of money, we find two types of money or forms of money. Okay. So this forms of money. So first one is your fiat money and fiduciary money. That is fiduciary. Fiduciary money. Okay. I think it's not clear. Second one is full body money and credit money. So when we study forms of money, in forms of money, we find two types of money. One is fiat money and fiduciary money. So we'll see what is fiat money and fiduciary money. Then we will move to what is full body money and what is credit money. So we'll deal one by one. What is first we will deal what is fiat money. Okay, fiat money. Fiat money refers to the all forms of money or refers to the form of money which is issued by the order of the government. So when government is authorizing and issuing any kind of money, that is your all coins and all notes and coins. Okay, all notes and coin. So whatever notes are there of 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 10 rupee, okay, 5 rupees, 50 rupees, 200, 200, 500, then 2000, all notes which are issued by the government, okay, or the government of India, that money is known as fiat money. Even the coins which are issued, like 1 rupee coin, 2 rupee coin, 5 rupee coin, 10 rupee coin, all money and plus all note money is which are note money which are in the form of notes. Okay, 100 rupees note like that. Okay, for example, coins which are issued by the government of India. In that case, that money will be called as fiat money. Okay, and people are legally bounded to accept those money as a medium of exchange. So if you are exchanging, you need to give money. Okay, and if you are working for someone, you need to take money from. If you are doing the payment, that person is also legally bounded to accept that money, and if you are receiving that payment, you are also legally bounded to accept that money. So that is known as what? Fiat money. Now we will see the fiduciary money. fiduciary money. It refers to the form of money which is accepted as a medium of exchange because of trust between the payer and the pay. Okay. For that example, if I call a example like check payments. Okay. You are going somewhere, you are giving a check, you don't carry huge amount of cash. Okay. In that case, what you do, you give the check. Okay. So check is accepted on the behalf of a trust between the payer and the pay. Okay. Not because government has said, or not because government has made you bounded to do so. No, it is not like that. It is because of the trust between the payer and the pay. Suppose you are working in an organization, okay, and you have not received your salary for a year, okay. That amount which has been accumulated, that will be a huge amount, okay, for a year. Suppose you have got 40,000 is your salary, okay, for per month, and for a year you have not collected that money, so it will be 4,80,000 money. So you are not going to carry that amount in your pocket. Okay, so a person may transfer in your bank account, or he or she or that organization may give you a check also. So you accept that check, and that is the trust between the payer and the paid. Okay, so you understand like this. So when a check, you give the check is also work as a form of money that is known as fiduciary money. So if you are giving a huge payment, so you can write and give in the check. And if somebody is paying you, he or she can also give you a check, which you can accept and take it to the bank and get your money back. Okay. So this is known as fiduciary money. Again, I will say it refers to the form of money which is accepted as a medium of exchange. Okay, because of the trust between the payer and the paid. Okay, not because the government has legally bounded you. Okay, in this, government has not legally bounded you. If you don't want check, you can say it, you can deny it that you don't want. Okay, but trust, it means that trust was not there between you and the payer and the paid. Okay, so for example was of this fiduciary money was checks. So we'll see the other forms. Okay. Okay, full-bodied money means, okay, it refers to the money in the terms of coin whose commodity value is equal to the money value as and when it was issued. So it means, suppose we talk about, for example, if I say, like, not if I say, it is given in a book also. Okay, so Britishers, at the time of Britishers, people issued 1 rupee coin. Okay, 1 rupee coin was of silver. Okay, 1 rupee coin was of silver. So commodity value of silver was placed in that coin was up to how much value? Up to value of 1 rupee only. Okay, so silver was used in that coin up to the value of 1 rupee. So commodity value was equal to the money value. Okay, so the coin which was made during the British time, or the 1 rupee coin which was issued at that time, that silver was used for 1 rupee only. Okay, and that, how much, if you are going to sell that coin also in the market, you would have got only 1 rupee. Okay, so that much commodities values were you only used for making that much value of coin. Okay, so commodity value is equal to the money value of the money. Okay, money value, commodity value is equal to the money value. If you sell in the market, then too you will get 1 rupee, and if you are giving to then too, that means you are giving a 1 rupee only. So again, full bodied money, it refers to the money in terms of coin whose commodity value is equal to the money value and when it was issued. Okay, now we talk about the credit money. Or credit money refers to the money whose money value, okay, whose money value is more than commodity value. Now, what is this? More money whose money whose money value is more than commodity value. What do you mean by that? See, today's coin you see that is made of alloy. Okay, and when you an alloy is made for 1 rupee coin. Okay, and you take 1 rupee silver coin from older time. 1 rupee silver. So whose commodity values will be more? If I'm not wrong, then here the silver coin which is used in 1 rupees, that will be more. But if we are talking about the credit money is in the commodity is used. Okay, commodity is used, no wrong. But it's that value of that commodity is less than the amount of the value of money of rupee 1. Okay, means here rupee 1 is more than the commodity value. Otherwise, people would have melted this alloy and sold in the market, and they would have got some more money. Okay, that is why that is known as credit money, in which though it is of 1 rupee coin, okay, that is the credit money. Okay, though it is of 1 rupee coin, but the commodity which is used in that money, or that is made for money, okay, that is lower than the value of the money. Or you can say the money value is less, commodity value is less than the value of the money. Okay, so that means that whatever otherwise what people would have done, they would have melted alloy very easily and they would have sold in the market. But earlier in the previous case, means in the full bodied money, if the people would have melted silver also, they would have sold in the market, they would have got the same money. But if today if you are using a gold in 1 rupee coin, then the commodity value will be very high. Okay, so if you are getting in a gold coin, if you are using gold as a commodity and you are making 1 rupee coin, then people will easily melt it and sell in the market. They will get thousands of rupees, which is commodity which is used in the making, or amount of gold which is used in making 1 rupee coin. Fine. So this is all for today. We will meet up in the next class. Till then, thank you.